All right. Good evening, everybody. If we could have order, please. Okay. We are going to call the meeting to order. This is the Planning Commission meeting on January 13th, 2026. If we could please have roll call.
Mr. Engler?
Here.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Erde?
Here.
Mr. Wax?
I'm here.
Mr. Guidry? Mr. Dana?
Here.
Mr. Burns?
Here.
Ms. Ferris? Here. Ms. Long?
Here. Okay, we've got the adoption of the minutes from the regular meeting dated on December 2nd, 2025.
Make that motion to adopt.
I've got Mr.
Second.
Burns with a second from Mr. Clement.
Mr. Engler?
Have to abstain.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Erde?
Yes.
Mr. Wax?
Abstain.
Mr. Dana?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Ferris?
Abstain.
Ms. Long?
Yes. Okay, move on to item number 4. It's the RV and boat storage, the Martin Group conditional use permit on Walker North. We have somebody to represent. If you'd state your name and sign in, please.
My name is Brennan Bates. I'm with McLean Taylor. I have a few sketches to help y'all visualize. So this is located off of Walker North Road. It's 3/4 miles south of Kane Market Road. Plan on having open RV and boat storage here. It is zoned R1, and R1 allows for small businesses. The 5-acre site, about 2 acres would be developed, so that'd be about 40%. So I'll be happy to answer any of the questions y'all have.
Where is this in relation to the equestrian estates? Just south?
You have an idea about how many slips or spaces for?
Not yet, no sir. We have not created a preliminary site.
Do you have an approximation?
I wish I did. But it would be developed in the back of this site, not on the entire site.
The whole site is 5 acres,
Yes, sir.
and just the back part. is
Just the back
red.
part would be developed.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure how many acres, but I know about 40% of the site would be developed.
Yeah, excess 40s.
Do you know if the property is fenced on that rear section?
I do not believe, but it will be fenced in when
Okay.
it's being developed.
Do you know what type of fence they would commit to?
No, ma'am, I do not. Not as of right now.
They're still going to have to go through our process.
Process,
So they'd
so-
have to come back. They're just seeing if you'd even allow it as a conditional use. So
Right. So
once
I
they do
just-
that preliminary site plan, and they're going to have to do the fences that are required by our ordinance.
Okay, and that was my next question, because it's conditional, what has to make sure
They
that
will have to
process
come
has to
back.
follow through?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You got different. This is mine here. You just got. Right here, there's. Church. You know what I'm saying? It's all.
So none of this is residential.
It's all.
It's a mix.
trailers.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Is there somebody living there right now?
No, sir, I
Is
think
that
the
a,
house is
it
not.
looks like a
occupied.
residence on, towards the front, is that?
Right, it's an existing house, but no one lives there.
Okay. But this, the plan looks like you're leaving that front portion?
Yes, we are, for future use, but I do not believe that house will be utilized.
Okay, so it's really, I mean, typically, I don't know, many times people reside there and they're just trying to do something extra on their property, but
Can I ask
Yes,
Natalie
please.
something? Because I think for this zoning, wasn't it a conditional use, but it would had to be the primary use, so they can't have a home on it? Do you know? But as what? Primary use? So that they cannot put, they cannot have a residence on it. The primary use of that property as condition would have to be the commercial. So they're not gonna be able to do both.
Or something like that, but to be lived in if it's not occupied
Yeah.
now.
that's why I'm asking.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Hey, do we have any questions or comment, please?
I think in our ordinances, so conditional primary use that has small business elsewhere in chapter, I think it's in 117. I think there's some comments about C definition for small business. I don't know that we have an actual definition for small business. I don't know if we do. If not, then I'm looking at Mr. Goff because I think he's the only one left here. We could use a definition in our ordinance.
We do, she
do?
read
Okay.
it today, but I can't remember what it
I know
said.
there's some definition in the SNB category, but I don't know if there's one for business.
A commercial enterprise that operates on a small scale but is not restricted to a residential dwelling. A small business may be located in any appropriately zoned district, allowing it a larger operational scope than a home occupation, with potential for moderate customer traffic, signage, and visible business activities. Small businesses may include retail stores, service providers, small offices, and other enterprises that contribute to local commerce while adhering to zoning restrictions on size, impact, and use.
Thank you.
Do we have any other comments from the planning department? Any engineer?
No.
Okay. Okay,
Again, this is just to see if you will allow them to move forward to start their plan
Their
to be
process,
able.
yeah.
Correct,
okay.
correct.
Yeah. Yeah, so definitely a variety, okay.
Right.
And that, well, that might add some clarity. There is a trailer park across the street for those of curious
church.
about a church
Couple lots
and a,
down is a store, across the street is a trailer. Been there forever.
Actually, this use is pretty low density.
Right.
Well, it's a pretty good thing in that corridor.
yeah. Okay, yes, sir.
I make a motion to grant the additional use.
Second.
Okay, I think Mr. Clemens beat you, Mr. Burns, with a second.
That motion.
Mr. Engler?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Erde?
Yes.
Mr. Wax?
Yes.
Mr. Dana?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Ferris?
Yes.
Ms. Long?
Yes. All right, sir, y'all can move forward, and it'll go to the next stage.
All right.
All right, thanks, sir. Okay, we'll move on to item 5. We have a public hearing that we're open the public hearing for Live Oak Elementary School multipurpose building. This is the preliminary site plan. It's located on Highway 16.
That'll be me again.
Yes, sir, you're back.
Yes, ma'am. All right, this is located off of Old LA Highway 16. We're proposing a multi-purpose building on an existing elementary campus. This building will compose of a gym, classrooms, and offices. And that's about it. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have.
Is there anything there right now?
I do not believe that location of the gym.
They're putting it where a playground used to be.
No buildings though, right?
I think the next couple of these multi-purpose that the schools are doing is kind of like in the center of where the existing schools are, or where like a playground or something was, but there's no buildings that they have to take out.
I actually hear those kids playing every day. It's, as a crow flies, it's a couple hundred yards from my house.
That would be
So,
relaxing.
yeah. It's not bad. Kind of make you smile.
And I did look these up, and from what I could tell, it was just where playgrounds were, or maybe like one portable building for like all the next 3. They were all open areas.
Okay, does the department have any other comment?
No, we do not.
Engineering?
All of my comments have been addressed. We would recommend them moving to the next step.
Any questions or comments from commissioners? Yes. We'll close that hearing, the public hearing on that. And so no questions or comments for this gentleman? Correct. Okay. Thank you, sir. All right. Any questions or comments otherwise for the department?
Ready for motion?
Yes.
Make a motion to approve the preliminary site plan.
A second.
Take a vote, please.
Mr. Engler?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Erding?
Yes.
Mr. Wax?
Yes.
Mr. Dano?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Ferris?
Yes.
Ms. Long?
Yes. Okay, item number 6, we will open a public hearing for South Live Oak Elementary School multipurpose building, Cecil Drive, and this is a preliminary site plan. Yes, sir. If you'll please, for the record, state your name again.
My name is Brennan Bates. I'm with Micklin Taylor. This is pretty much the same thing, another multi-purpose building with gym, classrooms, and offices located on an existing campus. Any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Any comments or anything with the department?
We have no comment.
Okay, engineering.
All of my comments have been addressed. We recommend moving to the next stage.
Okay, thank you. Okay, is there any other comments from the public or questions for this gentleman? Anyone? Okay, we'll close the public hearing on this item. So what are any, yes, we're
I'll
ready.
make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Okay, Ms. Ferris with Mr. Engler seconding. You take a vote, please.
Mr. Engler?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Clemens? Mr. Erding?
Yes.
Mr. Wax?
Yes.
Mr. Dano?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Ferris?
Yes.
Ms. Long?
Yes. Okay, we'll move on to item number 7, opening the public hearing for North Live Oak Elementary School multipurpose building. Preliminary site plan, Outback Road. Yes, sir.
My name is Brennan Bates. I'm here with Micklin Taylor. This is for North Live Oak Elementary School. Same thing again, proposed multi-purpose building on existing campus. with the gym, classrooms, and offices. Happy to answer any questions.
All right. Department, have any comments? Or the engineer comments?
All of our comments have been addressed. We would recommend moving to the next stage.
And us as well.
Okay, thank you. All right, any other comments or questions for this gentleman? All right, we'll close the public hearing. Have a motion by chance.
Motion to approve.
Mr. Erdy,
Second.
Mr. Wax, seconds. We could take a vote, please.
Mr. Engler?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Erdy?
Yes.
Mr. Wax?
Yes.
Mr. Dana?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Ferris?
Thank you.
Ms. Long?
Long night, yes. All right. That is going to move forward as well. So now we move on to item number 8, Head of Island Storage, Plaza 22 Pavilion, the final site plan on Louisiana Highway 22. Do we have somebody to step forward on that?
Good evening. Clint Kennerly with Kennerly Engineering.
Good for you for hanging in there.
Thank you. So this is the final site plan for Head of Island Plaza 22. This is behind an existing open-air boat storage that's there. This is kind of a duplicate going behind it. It's approximately 80 by 175. Depending on the length of the units, whether they're 20 or 40 foot, it could be anywhere from, I believe, 19 to 38 units under the storage building. And I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
All right. Does the department have any comments or questions?
No, we have none.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Anything from engineering?
All of our comments have been addressed. We'd recommend approval.
Thank you.
When was the existing storage facility built? That's right here to the east.
Yeah,
know?
it's been quite a while.
Recent? Okay.
It's been many years.
Any other questions, or do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Clements, second by Ms. Ferris.
Mr. Engler?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Erdy?
Yes.
Mr. Wax?
Yes.
Mr. Dana?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Ferris?
Yes.
Ms. Long?
Yes. All right. Thank you, sir. All right, item number 10, Coastal Oaks Industrial Park, revised second preliminary plat, James Chapel Road. I'm sorry? Did I? Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, Epic, I apologize. Epic Piping Shop Expansion, Phase 2. Final site plan, South Frost Road.
Hi, good evening. Scott Heil, Fox Nesbitt Engineering, 9100 Blue Bonnet Center Court, Suite 301, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 70815. This is for Phase 2 of the final site plan. We've previously been approved for Phase 1. This will enable them to construct 68,000 square foot G-shop bay and also enable them to relocate the existing loading building to the western end of the property. We've made previous considerations for the increase in runoff and utilities for this phase of expansion. So, any questions?
I do have one request. We've already seen some of the, the other expansion for the Epic Piping. If you could get us larger drawings
Sure.
next time. It's just a lot of detail in a very small area, kind of hard to delineate.
I agree. I had to magnify it on my phone to be able to see it and not wear glasses. So it's 70-acre site, so shrinking it down.
Right,
can be
yeah.
challenging, but
I got you.
The original production sheet's at 30 by 42, so anytime we split that down, it's 11 by 17. introduction, but I'd be happy.
If you could, please, thank you. Okay, do we have any comments from the department?
No comments, and we recommend approving.
Okay, engineering.
All of our comments have been addressed. We recommend approval.
Okay, thank you. All right, do we have any questions or comments for this gentleman, anyone? All right, do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion approved.
Second.
That was Mr. Wax seconding. If we could take a vote, please.
Mr. Engler?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Erdy?
Yes.
Mr. Wax?
Yes.
Mr. Dana?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Burns? Ms. Ferris?
Yes.
Ms. Long?
Yes. Okay, now, item number 10,
Yes.
Coastal Oaks Industrial Park. I have you all ready. This is a revised second preliminary plat, James Chapel Road.
My name is Craig Quarry with Monroe and Quarry. I'm representing the owner in this project. Y'all seen this before. We've reduced the size from 8 lots to 6 lots. The reason for that was because of flood elevation made some of those lots unusable, parts of the lot, so we reduced the size of the lot, or the number of lots, to make the 6 we have left more usable. So that's why we're making.
And we're still taking care of that oak tree, right?
Still taking care of the oak tree,
It's
yep.
the same thing I was looking for. I said, I know that tree. Where's that tree? I was looking.
That's it. We love our trees.
Yep.
Though many do not, but, okay, any comments from planning department?
We recommend approving.
Okay, engineering, you approve of changes?
Yes, all of our comments have been addressed. We recommend approval.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Any comments or questions? Okay, do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve it.
I'll second.
Take the vote, please.
Mr. Engler?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Erdy?
Yes.
Mr. Wax?
Yes.
Mr. Dana?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Ferris?
Yes.
Ms. Long?
Yes. All right, thank you, sir.
Miss
All
Kathy,
right.
can I ask a question?
Sure.
I'm sure Mr. Ricky's been sitting here all night, ready to go home right now. Would you like to go ahead and try to cancel the meeting, end the meeting ahead of time? He's here to say something. I'm waiting before we start.
All right.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah. Yeah, we provided entertainment. You can't complain. We provided entertainment, so. Okay, item number 11, public hearing. I will open the public hearing for an ordinance to amend Chapter 117, zoning, Article 2, administration and enforcement. I believe y'all can read the rest. If anyone would like to speak at this public hearing, please come forward and state your name. Okay, do we have no one here to speak on this item? So I can close the public hearing on that. Now, do we have anything from the department in this regard?
Yes, ma'am. Back on February 27th of last year, Mr. Andy Latt got up and he told people we were zoning the parish, but we're not going to charge you anything for rezones at this time. We're going to wait 6 months. Well, in February, it'll be 2 years. 1 year. And so I got with WSP and asked them to provide what other parishes are charging for zoning changes. And so Ms. Claire with WSP got Ascension, I think Tangipahoe, and St. Tammany and EVR. So I think who was it that commented on the group text? that said they hadn't seen the,
That was Sarah.
that was Sarah.
Yeah.
Right. And so, those were all provided by WSP, and we went over them, and I had talked to the chairman, and I think Miss Aaron, maybe one other councilman, they said they wanted to start those fees first of the year, which didn't happen. We had to wait a little while, but now it's getting to you guys.
I would like to make one comment also. There will be a provision in this ordinance where if someone comes in and it legitimately, their property is zoned wrong, and we can prove by documentation that they live there, maybe, I don't know, maybe they need to sell it, financing, whatever. We will not charge for that zoning for people who truly, are just coming around to realizing that the zoning is a problem. But I do feel that once we get these fees, a lot of this will slow down. Because right now, a lot of people don't know what they want. They want to change it, but then maybe 6 months from now, they might want it changed back or pull it and put it back on.
Yeah, an instance that we had on on 63 south of Livingston, they had zoned an entire subdivision C1. So they coming in trying to get a permit. We couldn't issue a permit. Can't build any houses in C1. And I tried to find a way to just go ahead and change the zoning, and we can't. We can't do it in the office. It's got to be done by the council.
Right.
But that's what Ms. Dee Dee's talking about. We have a lot of those instances that people haven't even noticed yet. So it'd be wrong to charge them when we know for a fact it was wrong.
Well, as I do have the question there, and we've gone over this many times, there's certain areas that they did just a broad spectrum. And when we really look at it, it doesn't make much sense. So I think there's a fine line there, because even though it might not be an individual per se, that if we look at that area, when it, if one person brings it to light, but it might affect a few people, I would question the charges at that point as well. So I don't know how we draw that line of who would have to be charged, because these are fairly significant fees.
What we envisioned in the planning department and zoning department is that when they come to us with a zoning change, we as a group will look at it real hard, check it out. It won't just be me, or it won't just be Nat, it won't be just Dee Dee. We'll look at it and try and get as close as we can to knowing whether it was incorrect or not. And it may be that it's correct, but not what they want. If they don't want it and they want to change it, then they need to pay for all the advertising, the letters, the signs, the traffic, the truck, when I go out and put all this, take pictures. So I think that's a good starting point, is at $750. That's what it's starting at. It could be less than that. Y'all make y'all's recommendations to the council, and they'll decide, what they want to do.
One other comment in regard to the amounts, because it goes from $750 to $4,000.
Yep.
So,
20 acres.
and that's, based on acreage. Well, if there's something, it's still one owner.
Right.
And if you suddenly it's 21.01 acres to 22 acres. But if you're a hair over, it still seems like if it's an individual owner or an individual property, I don't know, because it's more acreage, if it's necessarily correct to.
Well, for instance, the one on Buddy Ellis that we did, how many letters did you mail out on that one? 65? Yeah, but I mean on the big one. Around the piece being rezoned.
I do urge to make sure you have thresholds, because if it is not, that whatever recommendations you make, to have thresholds. If not, then that does not give us a leg to stand on or to justify where we are and how the fees are derived.
I'd like to speak on it, because I have a couple issues. Obviously, I own property. So one thing that in our zone, our area, our district, we was told we couldn't. And like you said, it's been a year. I'm sitting up here voting on stuff every time I'm here. And all of a sudden I see fees, I'm like, wait, I put mine in when we had our meetings with the company over in we filled out papers and said, we'll get to you. And today, there's many people that did that, including myself, and I'm up here voting for them, yes or not. And none of this ever came to us. Maybe it didn't get turned in, maybe it got turned in. So a lot of people probably did the same thing I did. They fill the form out, and I'm here, and I don't do it. Okay, so that's my own fault, I understand that, but there's a lot of people that haven't. That's number one thing I'm saying.
I would be okay if we had some type of documentation, and I'm sure WSP, and I'm speaking, and in my opinion,
Yes,
let me
ma'am.
rephrase that. In my opinion, I would be okay and could understand if there was documentation like what you just said, where yes, we did fill paperwork out to contest it. I wouldn't have a problem with honoring those applications or those names.
Well, okay, and that's the first thing. I'm going to step on that even a little further. There was even a website that I filled out information on that we had.
Yeah, they
I never got
compiled it. They compiled it, and I think it was 834 properties that the council chose not to change on February 27th that could have been changed that night to what people actually asked for at that time.
But we're in a district that was told, because it was zoned 4 years prior.
That they couldn't do.
Or in 22 it was zoned.
Somebody asked me that a while
Okay,
ago.
and we're in a district, there's 4 other districts,
Three.
4 total, 3 other
Yeah.
ones. That was said, when it comes zoning, I went to a couple of meetings and said, you can't change your zoning because it was locked in. So we didn't. Now,
1, 7, and 8.
yeah, it was 4.
Well,
Wasn't
5
it?
got thrown out.
Well, that's right, 5,
Yeah,
so
so
3.
only
after.
3 of them were
But we
illegal.
were told not to change it, and I'm not talking just me, I'm talking about those districts.
A lot of people.
Yes, so those districts were told, you cannot change it. Now, I personally filled out a form, but I then also got on a computer on the site and filled it out.
They have that list.
But at the
I've
same
seen it.
time, I understand, I don't have it. I don't have the piece of paper that I filled out and gave it to them because I thought I was doing due process.
Yeah.
Now, I'm here, I can go ahead and put mine on, but there's a lot of people that might not know what's going on. I found out the fees today. Okay, so I'm not knocking fees. I'm gonna touch on that a little bit. But at the same time, there's gonna be a lot of people. I'm gonna shut up with it, but there's a lot of people that really don't know. Okay?
Yeah.
Second
work
thing
with
on
that.
fees,
Yeah.
I don't understand, because like I said, I own property. Some people can afford it, some can't, let's say it this way. But if office personnel, your trucks and flags and sign, all this needs to go out. I understand there's a fee, and I don't have a problem with a fee. Let's just say it's a simple $1,000. Okay? Somebody owns 25 acres, 30 acres. What additional cost is it costing the parish? But they're gonna do the same legwork. They're gonna be the same truck and same. That's my question. Why is it a different fee because of the amount of property you're on?
That was my concern.
Yeah,
Is it's the
why is
same phone calls,
Is it the
same?
I'm
potential,
sorry.
The radius,
Yeah, it goes.
one
it's a
reason
circle.
is it's like a square radius or circle radius. And depending on how large the property is, then that radius goes out further, and that's the amount of people, added extra people that you would possibly
And
have to.
from each
And
corner.
I can't disagree with that until you get into a rural area.
Correct.
Where it's 5 acres a house, at a minimum 5 acres. So there's several people where I live at, in my properties, 10-acre lots. Okay, and then you got 20 acres or 48 acres here. And most of it is Crown Zella back, or warehouse, excuse me,
Correct.
going to the back. You're not gonna contact
So the thing is,
anybody.
most of those people are never gonna ask for a zoning change,
But
you know?
I would, right now, due to my neighbors, everybody's R1 and I'm agriculture.
Yeah, so you
And there's,
wanna do all that.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
There's several people in our area that they would deem agriculture and then some R1. So it's a mixture where, what the land I'm
Yeah,
talking
I
about.
don't know if there's, with us being so chopped up, you know, with a lot of rural, a lot of urban.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a right way of doing it, you know,
I
right,
understand that, but.
a better way.
But
I feel like
as
more
far as the cost, it still doesn't, you know, you're gonna send out 20 more letters.
Right. I got you.
That, and how would it warrant going the difference in the price? I mean, you really kind of,
Yeah.
Well, that's the same
to
thing
me, it
Mr.
don't
Carroll
make
asked me today.
sense.
I was asked to come up with pricing, and
Mm-hmm.
so we just compared apples to apples, I guess, parishes to parishes, not municipalities, because they, you know, they're much smaller and compact. They may have more letters to send out, but they're not gonna have huge pieces of land to rezone like we do.
Mr. Scooter,
I'm with him that, why are we ramping up the fees for the number of acres? Primarily, larger lots don't have a lot of.
That's how every
neighborhoods.
parish does it. Every parish
Well,
does it. And all of them
we
start
ain't
at,
them.
3 of the
But-
4 start at 750, and one of them starts at 500, but to add 2 fees on it to make it 750.
It has the look of a profit center.
Oh, I get it.
Okay.
Well,
Now, if we
yeah.
want to ramp things up monetarily on the number of contacts you have to make, I got no problem with that. If you got one of those properties that has 252 people you have to contact, charge them per number of contacts. That makes perfect sense.
Oh, why you
Right, it's just a large leap to go from,
dead?
you know, $1,000 to $4,000, when in fact they may be located in a place that they have 3 neighbors that would be, you know, affected. But,
If
Mr. Scooter.
we were just told to gather our neighboring parishes
Sure.
and bring that information to you.
Yeah.
We
So
we
this
sent
isn't-
that what the other parishes were?
Yeah, it's in the.
It's in that-
Do we have it?
Email.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Okay, I didn't know if we actually got that, or if it was, I knew you had made the comment that it was compared to
Yeah,
neighboring
it
parishes.
should
I
be.
just didn't know if we had
So
it.
this is just bringing y'all the information, whatever you as the board feels that you would want to present or suggest or recommend. This is just, again, it's not us saying we need these fees.
I think it needs to be.
I did,
I really do. I think it
And
needs
I-
to be some kind of fee.
Miss Dee Dee, I've done some research in the last, several days since I've seen it. Let me summarize. A landowner comes to your department and fills out an application, and then you have to advertise in the public paper and public notice, right? You gotta go out and put up signs, then you send it on to the planning commission, and then on to the parish council, right? Parish council, well, I reached out to Walker, the city of Walker, and they do the basic same things that you do here, and their total price is $350, period, end to end. I reached out to Dillon Springs City, and they do the same thing, basically, and send out letters, and their high end is $365. And I reached out to the town of Livingston, and they do a little different. They their application fee is $350. The public notice fee is $300, but they have a graduating scale. If it's every acre is $50 more, okay? And they do that here, but then they send out certified letters to adjacent property owners, and you don't know how many that is. You know, it might be 4 or 5, or it might be, in the case of the big project south of Walker, maybe what, 50, 60? That's the only constant. Everything else is constant except the letters that you send out, okay? The same 3 cities that I talked to. I think, and echoing what some of the other people are saying, is that whatever you charge for 1 acre, you should charge for 10 acres, okay? Because you're not doing any additional work, okay? Am I correct? You're not doing any additional
Well,
work.
it depends. It depends on how many different landowners you have within that radius.
Well,
We've
my
sent out-
recommendation is when we come up with a fee, and I have a recommendation on a fee, when you come up with a fee, you do everything is constant except the certified letters. what does it cost, $8 or more for a certified letter?
I'm not sure, Mr.
Well,
I would be
anyway.
lying if I told you. I don't
Livingston
send
is,
them out.
their quote is $8, okay? So if you come up with one fee, my recommendation is 600, okay? But add the number of letters that you send out on top of that, whether it's 3 or 50. That would be the only difference,
So
okay?
then you would suggest basically instead of the threshold being by acreage, maybe by how many letters or whatever has to be sent out.
Well, one cost, no matter how many acres, just one.
Flat
one-
fee, correct.
one-
Yeah.
One fee, no matter how many acres, and then add the number of letters that you send out on top of that, and on top of that fee. And my recommendation would be it's $600.
Whatever,
Yeah.
again, whatever recommendation,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
y'all would like, we
Yeah.
will
I
record it
think-
and send that to the council.
I'd like to make one other comment, though. This is one of the areas that, when you look at most of the fees, you pay a fee to then take an action, that you have approved an action. This is one of the few that you could get rejected. So you're asking someone to put up a significant amount of money that could be told no, versus if they're getting their, to build a house and they have to pay their fees, they're still going to build their house. And they get something for the money. Versus in this, it's just a toss-up. Am I going to get it or am I not? And they, when you're asking people to look at such large numbers for something that they may be denied doing. And a second point I have is I know several things that we went through in this whole process, that things were zoned a certain way initially, and then when the final maps came out, they were different than they were the initial time. Well, a lot of people looked at it and went, oh, okay, I'm good. That's, that works for me, assuming that was it. And then we several times have looked at the maps during the process and be like, oh, this used to be whatever, and they changed it. And there would be a reason for it, but it doesn't change the fact that they wouldn't have known to come back until an issue comes up in their personal life that, oh, wait, I thought I could do this, because before it was on there like this, and they changed it. And so I think that's one of those gray areas that they thought they were good, and then they're not, and they have no real warning of it. And I'd also like to see a time period of, okay, once we figure out the amount, have kind of an effective date that's not immediate. 'Cause it just feels like a lot's happening, quickly.
So to your first question, there are people who were zoned wrong. I do believe that the comment that I made of grandfathering,
Right.
I believe that
Right.
would be qualifying reasons that would make it where it would be no charge.
Okay.
I also believe that once we get fees established, it doesn't matter if it's $50 or $1,000, whatever y'all suggest and the council agrees upon, I think that is going to stop some of these applications that is obvious that it doesn't belong, it doesn't fit, it would be spot zoning, it doesn't make good sense, or it's not good for the location. Because when someone has to start paying, then 9 times out of 10, they're going to do a little bit more research to make sure first that it's even possible, correct, before they spend the money.
Yeah.
Make,
Sir, you asked, I saw the email I got from Sir Patrick. Just had, we pulled them all. Remember when we pulled out? Oh, come on, you can hear me. Remember when we pulled them all in our office, and I thought they were on that email that I sent Ricky, but they weren't. That's only 2 yet. Ascension and St. Tammany.
Yeah, I looked up some of the stuff on St. Tammany's, and one of the things that I had mentioned, I don't think the ordinance has been updated for it yet, but St. Tammany has a provision in there essentially exempting the zoning commission and the council from incurring the fees as part of their duties in that capacity. So not like if I want to rezone my own property, I don't have to pay the fee, but if we bring some comprehensive zoning change, or if the council does, they don't have to pay the fee. So I think that needs to be explicitly stated in the ordinance. I have the same concerns with the dollar amounts and all of those things. It doesn't feel like we have our heads around yet whether or not this is collectively what we want to do. So it feels like we need more time. The big concern that I have is I don't know that the public is aware of what's coming, and they are going to lose their minds, and I don't blame them. With this being, I think this was introduced to the council on December the 4th, so right in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, people are going to have no idea what hit them. So I think it needs to be done. I'm not completely sold on the dollar amounts, but I think we need to do a really good job of warning the public that this is coming before they're caught off guard, and I don't think we've had the opportunity to do that yet.
Yeah, that's what I was referencing when I'm saying give us some more time, or set a time frame or something, because it's a little
But Scooter,
abrupt.
when we do look at this, what I'd like to ask you prior to getting this ready, every person that's involved in the parish that deals with it, no matter if it's emails or whatever, it takes people time. So that needs to be in the fee. They need to be covered 100% to handle that situation. If there's someone that's keeping records or whatever, it's still time that parish people are putting on it. So you might want to do a little homework on the numbers and all that.
Yeah.
That way y'all can help us with the fees. It's not, I don't think it's right for me to say, okay, I think it's 1,000. Gerald says 300. If you give us some costs and some, what it really costs, we have to cover that. I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't.
Well, but and I'm just being an objective rebuttal that taxpayers would say is, I pay taxes for that service. You know, what else, you know, that has to be considered as far as public reaction to that. Not to say don't have any, but I think we can't just say, well, it's to pay for what we do. Well, then why do I pay taxes? It's going to be their response.
But if we keep adding stuff for the
No, I don't
parish
say
to do,
none.
we just keep adding.
No, I
right?
agree. I'm not saying none. I'm just
We
telling
need
you.
something, yeah.
I think that will be a response, that we have to be able to acknowledge that and know that that was taken into account.
I would make a recommendation that, since you don't know, the planning department does not know what the cost is right now, and do a study on it, but come up with a figure that I suggest is 600, and keep it for a year, and then within 1 year, you would kind of be pretty close to where you want to be. It might go down, it might not go up. So that would be a good starting point, I would think.
Just for tonight's
One more
meeting.
thing I'd like to say is the fee that we come up with should be basically what it costs the landowner to do this. I don't think that the Livingston Parish government should be making a profit off of whatever fee you come up with. It should be actual cost, okay? The parish should not be making a profit.
I can promise you Livingston Parish is not making a profit on what we get. I promise you that. With what little bit we get. But just tonight, one copy, this is what, of all stuff that Olivia has gathered, documented, made spreadsheets on, that's just for this meeting right here.
That's what I say, that should,
Correct.
that's the kind of stuff.
And that's because I require paper copies.
And there's like
'cause I
7
can't-
of us
Yeah.
that it goes through before I get
Yeah, I don't think anyone's
the sign from
disagreeing.
Olivia to go put it up.
Yeah, I don't believe anybody's disagreeing that the cost is involved.
Right.
And the materials and everything that's involved.
And I do understand the comments that y'all had made and the concerns about what the fees are and how it's based. And that was real legitimate concerns. And it shows how you are looking out for the people that you represent. And I thank you for that.
I do have a quick question, since y'all probably
No,
know more
Brady.
about reviewing other surrounding parishes. Are most of them set up like this, that this draft has it strictly by acreage on the application review fee versus, like Mr. Burns said, a flat fee plus either per letter or flat fee plus acreage?
Yeah, well, the one that I looked, between Ascension and St. Tammany, and it might have been one of the other ones we pulled up, but two of the ones out of 3 or 4 started at 750 and went up to 4,000. Some of them were higher than that. But the ones that didn't started out at like 425, and when they added the postage and the signage and all this, came out to 750 for the starting for 1 acre. I'm like, they just made it seem like it was gonna be less.
Yeah, I think too, one of the things a lot of people look at is those with money that are trying to do large projects. Well, they can afford it, but the individual is now kind of taken, it takes away from them. So I think we're all in agreement that, we've got to take some more time to evaluate.
And just so
Paying unit
y'all,
development fees too.
just so y'all know as well, when we started the zoning portion, that was a department that didn't even exist. We pulled planning. We had no computer program for it, so we had to invest in the computer module for the zoning to be able to come up with something, because originally Natalie was working on a dry erase board and a notebook or a spreadsheet that she made.
Right.
Until administration come in, we got zoning going, and we do have the module. We did purchase the module for the zoning for the program that we have. So it is a whole lot of incurred expenses that the parish has consumed just to keep it going correct until now.
And
I think everyone should,
yeah.
not
It-
just some of the old.
Oh,
families who
absolutely.
have no money,
Yeah.
Correct,
they got land given to
correct.
them. Now
Yeah.
they gonna.
Yeah, they're going to have to do
I
that.
agree.
Somebody
And-
here might be able to afford it.
And unfortunately,
Some
it's
can't. They barely pay tax.
somewhat of like the development came before the infrastructure of the zoning concept, So, well, Mr. Goff, may we invite you up to speak?
Third time, get her.
I can do it in 3 minutes. So to answer multiple of y'all's questions is, Mr. Gerald's pretty close in the my suggestion is a solution. I don't like this particular fee scale at all. None, zero. I'm not gonna vote for it. Because I believe the same thing what Norman said and Mr. Gerald, that an individual subdivides their property and they should be responsible for that expense that we incur. So the parish council, the administration was tasked with just gathering some solutions so we can get a fee in place, because it's been well over a year. So that being said, I'm 100% behind anywhere from $600 to $750 as a flat rate fee, and then a dollar amount on the letters that go out, because that's your biggest moving target, is the mailing and the letters that go out. And then it's the simplicity of the process. So if y'all want to send it to the council with that, and then the administration can verify that that number is a good, realistic number to cover our expenses, we should not be on the backs of the parish citizens, whether they're a business guy or our grandmother, to ask them to pay over that, and that's what this kind of does. But at the same time, they need to pay their fair share.
Right, but
we're
knowing
pinching pennies
too,
already from a waste and all.
yeah,
So, I'm 100% behind a flat fee, and then the 8 or whatever it is per letter. I have information being gathered now from multiple parishes throughout the state, and none of them that I know of so far over 700, other than Ascension. They have that escalating scale that really, I hadn't found anybody that's really that close to them. Most everybody is a certain dollar amount, anywhere from $300 to $600, $500, and then they have the mailing and other little fees that are attached. It gets up to the same principle, like like you said. So anywhere from $600 to $700 as a flat fee, and then we can revisit it again in a year, as long as you put on there the mail out part. Because one entity that's a large entity mailing out 50 letters because you got 50 property owners, and another one might be mailing out 2. And I just think that that's the best way to do it. As far as when we implement it, I think the biggest issue here that I hear tonight, because I'm in that district, that is my district, that I was told multiple times I can't rezone, I can't do this, and anyway, we hear where we're at. But I would encourage you to get those 800 entries that somebody put in to have that on file for Miss Dee Dee and them, to where when someone walks in that door, like a Norman Engler of the world, and says, I put in my information, then you can easily go back and look at it, and then that person really, depending on what they want to do, and they can evaluate that each time. But I think we should move it forward, but that's totally up to y'all. I mean, it's been a year, it's been a long time.
Yeah,
And
I
I
guess
think it
it's
will
just
slow
not
things
been
down.
discussed, and so the year kind of, it's not as though we keep kicking it down the road as far as conversation. This is our first real discussion on it.
But it's just to set the fee. It's never been from jump that we're going to do it forever. We have
Right.
extended it, and then we have extended it past that. It's really time just to do it. And then now what the council can do, and I will commit to this board, if y'all give us a recommendation to say, these fees is what our recommendation is, and we recommend that you give another 30-day grace before they actually kick in, and send that in as your recommendation.
I don't
You know.
know that we have enough information to recommend a fee, though. That's my concern, is because I'm hearing some of the information from you, some from Mr. Keene, some from Mr. Burns. That's good
So
information.
it's pretty simple. I
I'd
don't mean
like
to
to
interrupt
see
you, but it's
all of
pretty
that.
simple. A zoning thing comes in, clerical person grabs that and processes that paperwork. She makes copies, and it goes through like 4 or 5 people. Then this gentleman here gets to go out and put up signs. Correct me if I'm wrong in any of this.
I'm
This
aware of the process. I just don't know how much the process costs, and I don't think any of us does.
So,
And so that's
you know,
that's my
within-
concern,
within
is I don't know
reasonable-
what number to
Within reasonable
recommend.
calculation, we can get a calculator out and figure up the hours and how long it's
But
going
we
to take.
can't
to
do that
process.
tonight.
But
So we
I
can't
mean,
make
if
that
the
recommendation
neighboring-
to you.
But
If the neighboring parishes keep spitting out the same thing, there's gotta be a reason. They're charging that, we could, I mean, it's not, you know, if Tangipahoa's charging for, if they keep coming out to the same range, there's a
And
reason.
to be
Well,
quite honest
but
with you, I think we're going to be
there's a
high.
s-
We're going to be high in that number.
Can we make a recommendation to the council that they calculate the flat fee plus?
Well,
a-
this is, I asked if, this is the people that do it. They can give us a fee, they can give the council a fee and say, this is the number we suggest.
But it sounds like
But do we
most
have to put a
everybody
dollar
is-
sign on it ourselves?
I don't think we do. I think we
You know
can
what I'm saying?
make a
Can we,
recommendation.
we make the recommendation, go forward with
that
it?
there's a flat
And let
fee
you
versus
give the
this.
prices to the council and let they're gonna vote anyhow.
Come up with either way.
They're gonna vote yes or no against us.
Please let me just state this. Each city of Baton Rouge is $500 plus $100 per acre. So $500 is basically their fee, and then if it's over 1 acre, they add $100. So I'm just assuming that in that $500 they cover their administration. I cannot imagine it costing us as a parish for 7 individuals and him to go out and put up the signs, et cetera. It costs us more for copying and everything else than it does. I think the 600 to 700, I think the 700 actually might even be a little bit high, but we can adjust it or fluctuate it at the end of the next year or something. But I think we and heck, who cares if we miss it and it costs us an extra few pennies? You know, it's the right thing to do by the citizens instead of adopting what y'all have in front of you.
Well, one of the things Mr. Burns mentioned too, though, is you look at Walker and the towns in the area, Denham Springs, and their fees they've calculated are much lower. They're completely
Small geographic area. Sometimes
True.
I drive 20-something miles, put a sign
Right.
That's right. 20 miles back.
right. But I'm saying, but it's also, I don't think it's so extreme that if they're talking 300 and they're okay with 300, that if we start at maybe a 500, that compensates. Because when you really look at it, say we have 10 a month, that's only, 100 a year, and those are going to fade away some because some of this has been cleaned up. So it's not a huge number that we'll be dealing with either, but
I think the 600 is a great recommendation. I'm perfectly fine with going to 7 if that's what the council ends up wishing to do. I'm not going to jump up and down by that, but I think it well covers our expenses. And if for some reason it's a smidgen over that, it's fine. But
I think we ought to
need to
make
keep
a
pushing it.
recommendation for a set tonight to send on to the council for recommendation, a flat fee plus cost of certified letters, okay? You ready for a motion, Madam Chairman?
well,
I like that one myself. You know, the only variable cost I've heard here really is the letters.
Well, I don't know.
I'm fine with that too, letters and mileage.
I think $600 is a
Letters
good
and
starting
mileage.
point,
So let's
okay? It
say
might
we
be
do
high
that.
and it might be low, I don't know.
Let's say
But
we do
after-
that and everybody agrees.
But after a year, you know, they would know.
What's the soonest it's gonna go into effect? Like, let's say that's the recommendation, y'all love his recommendation, the council passes it.
Council
What's the
can-
soonest?
And I
They
would
can
love for
put a
this
date.
I'd love for y'all to give us that recommendation
Because
because.
that's kind of what I'm thinking is,
And if it's, once it's passed, it goes, we would like to say, once it's passed, it goes into effect 30 days and or 60 days, whatever it is. But we need a time frame. I think 30 days is realistic.
Just give a little.
Brady said March 31st.
Well,
I think-
assuming that it passes.
Yeah.
I think he's right. We need a better
sooner
like
than-
60 days or 90 days.
Help me with
Yeah.
150 of them that come in because they know they're gonna, the deadline.
I think,
we-
I
we
think
shooting
more
ourselves
than
in the
1
foot
month is
too, but-
probably.
I know.
Either way, it's not gonna be a great thing, and
It's
because
not.
you're asking for money that they could be told no. And so they're saying, I'm risking,
I'm gonna look at this before they come in.
yeah, well, they will, but I still say regardless, that they are giving up money possibly for no return.
You know, and I
Could
have
you make it
been,
where
I
they
have
get a
been telling
refund
some of them
If
now,
they get rejected?
the odds of y'all getting this passed are slim. I wouldn't even recommend doing it.
That's fair.
And if they say, no, I want to do it, then they don't mind paying. Yeah.
When you put skin in the game, it changes your thought process.
Yeah, I think
Well,
the
of
fee is
course,
definitely
yeah.
a good
So-
deterrent.
I just know there are a lot of people that, in the community that may not be able to do that.
Could we put it where they get a refund if they get shot down?
No, so we just soon charge zero if we're gonna do
The
that.
work's been done, yeah.
This fee is only to cover our expense to move forward with the process.
Right,
So
yeah.
Let's say, so another piece that hadn't been brought up is if it gets approved, then we have to do the updates. We have to send that out, make sure that goes and has the updates to the master plan, things of that nature. So there's a
Yeah.
little bit more to this, and it has
Right.
an overall cost, but it's not what that fee charge is in front of you right there.
Yeah, I think the
And I
fee,
would hate for an individual, just because he owns 10 acres and he's held on to his property, like Mr. Harris back there, sitting on 300 acres, and he decides he wants to subdivide it out into 6 sections next, who knows when. And then he's got to pay an additional fee up to 4,000 or God
Yeah,
knows
that's,
what.
that's too much.
It's just, that's not right, it's not
No.
fair, and we just need to cover our costs. And I think that
Yeah.
flat fee plus the letters, that way it doesn't matter how many letters go out. It's the number of letters.
Could we consider like a 500 plus the letters?
6 is.
What did Gerald say? The other one you said was 650. What parish was that?
The city,
Or the cities?
Walker was 350, Denham Springs was 360.
yeah, I think 600 plus,
Turn your mic on.
600 plus letters, it seems,
Livingston
feels
was a
more
little
right.
higher, but that was an abnormality. But if Walker and Denham can do it for those figures, why can't Livingston Parish
Keep in
do it?
mind,
I don't know.
city-
We've
Well,
got
back to
point.
mileage.
You got to
Much larger
travel
area.
all
Yeah.
over this parish.
Much
Yeah.
larger area to travel.
So our general consensus is everybody 6 is
Yeah.
good?
$600.
And then just
I'm just
count on
making
the council
proposals. I'm
adopting
not-
our recommendation.
Yeah. Yes, but I want to make sure what Sarah mentioned, the other factors, when you were talking about making sure it's included. Yeah, all of those things.
Yeah, I don't think he's sent it in either.
The only other concern I'm kind of sitting here chewing on is succession and family partitions, which I know we don't really have a family partition ordinance, but if you inherit, 10 acres split amongst 10 kids, and you got to rezone that to R1 for them to be able to do anything with it, that feels like an inheritance tax, which just kind of makes me cringe a little bit. So I don't know if we want to think about that.
I will
also.
tell you this, we have had in certain instances where there's been judgments, and maybe it went against our ordinance, but I'm not gonna say maybe went against the ordinance, but maybe, I guess it might have went against the ordinance. And the judge decided, and according to our attorneys, we had to honor what that ruling was. So I would think that maybe there are some provisions that could possibly be put in if you inherit this and it's only 3 of y'all and maybe it's only 2 acres and you've got to subdivide to give each a fair amount and the zoning won't allow it. I would think that there might be something, and Rick, y'all might could look into that.
Yeah, I'm
but
not sure
maybe there's
how
some
to
kind of
do that,
provision, right?
But if you're left property and you're not left money, then it just doesn't sit well with me that now you've got to spend money to be able to do something with the property that this person has hung on to in order to give it to you. So
Well,
that, it just
especially
doesn't
you're
feel
being
great.
mandated
Yeah.
by,
But you could sell
by
it,
the
but that'd
inheritance,
be
but you're being mandated to, usually
it's
they
also-
say you each get an equal portion.
It's also been divorce settlements. We've had that come
Right.
up with a couple of times with divorce settlements just last year.
Well, couldn't
where
we
the
just add
judge had
those things
awarded-
to your exceptions?
I mean, that's up to,
I would
It's something
think,
we
the
should
pleasure
ask, I
to
think,
y'all,
Mr.
so
Irving,
whatever
how
y'all
we would even
suggest.
do that.
Yeah.
And where we should draw that line.
but
because
on
I
the
could-
list for sure. I think
Yeah.
that's a good idea. So, okay, so,
I'm gonna weigh in on that, because I just can't sit there and listen to it like that. But what we have to understand is that the judge ruled for you to divide that property equally. He didn't go in there and say, move this line here, move this line there, right? So he said to divide that property equally. And that property is in our parish now under a certain guidelines and status and zone. So once they have ownership, it's up to them if they choose to rezone it or change it or buy the other person out or whatever. We should not get in the middle to say that we're not going to charge you a fee and let you rezone for free. Their property either still fits that same zoning or it doesn't. Or they can buy the other person out and then it goes right back where it was at. Or they got to come and get it rezoned. Just because they inherited it and they had to divide it up on paper doesn't mean the property is divided up, right? The judgment does stand, and they could go through the process to subdivide the property, and we have to adhere to the judgment, right? And then that can weigh in on the day that it comes in front of y'all to the zoning part of it or a non-compliant zone or whatever, but that decision has to be made by this board, in my opinion. It doesn't need to be made in the planning commission.
Well, for instance,
That's just my
let's say
thought.
someone has a 3 kids. They can hear me. Somebody has 4 acres, they leave it to 3 kids.
Yes, sir.
The judge says split it equally amongst all of them,
Yes, sir.
all right? Now they don't have enough acreage to do almost anything in ag. If it was 4 acres ag, now it's unusable to them.
well, it no longer conforms to the
You
zoning
can't
that it
build
is.
anything on
Yeah.
that current zone. So at
In
this point in
ag.
time, the judge has effectively mandated a zoning change of some kind.
And we have to take that into consideration, so they can petition to have that rezoned to R1, right? Because of why are you doing that, and it should stay as ag. Well, the judge said this.
Well, the
So,
suggested exemption here is that if the request is due to a court order,
right.
we waive things. And it doesn't matter what the court order is, if it's divorce or what kind of settlement, but if it's a court order change, that we're gonna waive fees.
And I don't know if we can or even should do that, but I think we should ask. I think we should
Yeah.
talk about it. a little
It's
bit
in
more,
our
because what I
system a
think
little
it's
bit now,
gonna-
and it's actually in the Unified Development Code that we're about to adopt. That's why I know a little bit more about it
What's
than what
in the
it's-
Unified Development Code?
is
Okay.
to where if it's a court action.
But I thought you just said you didn't want to do that. Wow, that's
No, I
confused.
don't, I don't want
Okay.
to put it in the hands of the parish planning department.
Well,
to-
I'm debating whether or not we put it in this ordinance. That's the question, is because we have other exemptions that we're listing in this ordinance. So does that need to be one that we put in this ordinance too? Because my concern is what's going to happen is you're going to have people that have no money, but granddaddy had some land. And now they've inherited that land and they don't have the money to go through this process. So what are they going to do? They're going to sell it to a big developer because they don't want to have to incur the cost. It's the same line of thinking to me as inheritance tax, even though it's a much smaller amount. I don't know what to do about that. I'm not really suggesting any action because I don't know what that action should be. It's just a concern that I think we need to think through, the council needs to think through.
I understand.
What you just
I hear
said
your
is
concern, but
exactly what I was, that's why I didn't want a $4,000
Be done with
versus
it.
this.
Let D.R. Horton take it. I've got my
Yeah,
money, tired of
But
dealing
those
with the
people,
parish.
you don't want those people
Yeah.
to do that. You don't want a 4,000 fee where they can't afford it. That was what I'm trying to say.
But at the end of
I
the.
don't know what the right answer is. It's just, like I said, a concern that I have.
No, well, it's being forced upon them because they don't have a choice but to divide something 3 ways that will no longer conform to the existing
But if that, I think,
zoning.
if that comes to us, we're not gonna be able to make a waiver anyhow. We're gonna go send it to the council, and the council's gonna say it's a judgment.
And
from
it's a moving
judge.
target every time.
You're gonna have to go there.
It's a moving
and they're gonna have
target
to make the
every
vote,
time.
And it's gonna
Some's
go
going
through.
at- Some of those targets are going at 100, some of those are going at 10 miles an hour. You never know how it's gonna be. So that's why I said it needs to just be there and identified in the zoning and wherever, so that they know that whenever they hit that circumstance that they handle it. If it has to come to y'all, then it has to come to y'all, and y'all evaluate what it is and work that particular problem through the system to make them whole.
Well, yeah, but you're still asking them to pay the fee to do it. So that's the question.
I'm sorry.
So,
Yeah, I think we recommend the
All right.
600 plus.
yeah,
I think, yeah,
that's fine.
I think the fee is a good deterrent in general, but from the
Yeah.
civilian
I think,
perspective,
Brady-
they probably don't.
If we see in a
Like the
year that
fees or
it's
the
not
zoning at
covering
all.
what we need to, then we'll come back and say, look, guys, we need to change, we'll tell them we just need to change the money, how much it is.
Mr. Wax was gonna make a motion, or does anybody else?
I'll make a motion to recommend that we adopt it but alter the fees to a $600 flat fee plus mailing plus postage.
Okay.
And nah, I
And,
feel like that's a little too variable.
And would we, and make sure they visit any exemptions recommended by the department?
Yes. Yes, and revisit in 1 year.
Okay,
And we just,
I'll second that.
all right. Mr. Wax, seconds. So, can we take a vote, please?
Mr. Engler?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Erdy?
yes.
Mr. Wax?
Yes.
Mr. Dana?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Ferris?
Yes.
Ms. Long?
Yes. Okay, that takes care of item number 11. We have no attorney here, engineer, no comment, planning, no comment. Okay, now, okay, the commission comments are that we've got to discuss our March and April meetings because of date issues, if you want to review that, Natalie.
So for March, the council is out for the police jury that week, so we won't be able to use the,
Okay.
we're open really, besides the second and fourth Thursday.
Okay, so anybody want to look, I'm looking at my calendar, let's see.
Any, do y'all like Tuesday?
Do we already have a date set for February?
Yes, February will be our regular first Thursday.
Would y'all like to do Tuesday the 3rd rather than the 4th, or is that whole week?
The
we
whole
can't?
week.
We can't,
We
okay.
We could do the 10th.
February what now?
February is,
That's the 5th.
yes, February is the 5th. It's our regular meeting date. March needs to be changed.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned. That's the second Tuesday.
Second Tuesday is the 10th. Okay. Everybody good, March 10th?
Guys, y'all good with this, Tim?
Yeah,
We're good with
yes.
Okay, then let's move on to April.
April, we are closed that, regular meeting day. Pretty much open for anything else.
You wanna do it before it or close it?
The council meeting will be on the 9th, so we can do the same and do the Tuesday before.
When
or
is
the week
Easter?
after.
When is Easter?
That's
Yeah, April
Sunday
5th
the
is Easter.
5th.
It's just the 5th, okay.
Mhm.
I don't know when sometimes their kids are off the week after. Does that affect anyone, or?
I mean, I'm sorry. April? Talking April now, right?
Yeah, we're in April.
April 7th is good for me.
Yeah, April,
That's the Tuesday after Easter.
the second is,
We're off
Off,
for Easter.
yeah. So the 7th, the Tuesday after Easter.
Are we
Okay.
good with that?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right. Okay, so there we are.
So
March 10th and April 7th.
And February 5th, correct? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, and the last item, it is come around again for the decision on chair and co-chair.
I'd like
Any
to nominate
comments?
Miss Kathy.
I'll second it.
Okay, suppose we take a vote.
Mr. Engler,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Clemens,
Yes.
Mr. Erdy,
Yes.
Mr. Wack,
Yes.
Mr. Dana,
Yes.
Mr. Burns,
Yes.
Miss Ferris,
Yes.
Miss Long.
Abstain. Okay, I appreciate the confidence vote. Thank you very much. Now, co-chair.
If it's okay, Miss Sarah, I'd like to nominate you.
I'll second
All
that.
right, we got a second from Mr. Wack. Take a vote, please.
Mr. Engler,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Clemens,
Yes.
Mr. Erdy,
Yes.
Mr. Wax,
Yes.
Mr. Dana,
Yes.
Mr. Burns,
Yes.
Miss Ferris,
Abstain.
Miss Long.
Yes. Okay, so we took care of that. So I believe unless there's any other comments from the commission, we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.